Hi, this is Charlene Burke with Grow Because You Know. That's www.growbecauseyouknow.com. Welcome to Morning Mindset Cafe, where today we are discussing concepts from the book Success Through a Positive Mental Attitude. This happens to be my copy, printed in 1969. The book itself was printed in 1960 and written by Napoleon Hill and W. Clement Stone. A copy is available via PDF in the live stream, and one day I'm going to check my downloads to see if I believe it's available in the free downloads that I offer under Success Mindset Resources. Good morning, Catherine. It's good to see you. I'm not certain what page we are on in the PDF, but in the book, we're on chapter 14. So today's Morning Mindset Cafe is going to be talking about how to find satisfaction in your work. The actual title of the chapter 14, is How to Find Satisfaction in Your Job. I changed it to work because in today's world, the majority of us who are in this room are self-employed, own our own businesses, and that's just the majority. But also, we can find satisfaction in work as it relates to non-paying jobs, correct? So rather than just say job, which is the title of the chapter, I changed it to work because there's so many different ways that people are working today. Having said that, the chapter starts off with, no matter what your job may be, boss or employee, plant manager, factory worker, doctor, nurse, lawyer, secretary, teacher, student, housewife, or maid, you owe it to yourself to find satisfaction in your job as long as you have it. You can, you know. Satisfaction is a mental attitude. Your own mental attitude is the one thing you possess over which you alone have complete control. You can determine to find satisfaction in your job and discover the way to do so. Now, if you have the PDF, thank you, Mary. It looks like we're on page 232. So what do we think of that? Puts responsibility right on me, right on you, to find satisfaction. All right, well, first question comes up. How in the world do you do that if you're in a job that you think sucks? Right? If your mental attitude is not, I'm finding great satisfaction in what I do. You're more apt to find satisfaction in your job if you do what comes naturally. That for which you have a natural aptitude or liking. So consider this, when you take a job that doesn't come naturally, you may experience mental and emotional conflicts and frustrations. You can, however, neutralize and eventually overcome such conflicts and frustrations if you use positive mental attitude and if you're motivated to gain experience to become proficient in the job. Oh, some great comments already coming from the side. The first one is, stop thinking about how it sucks. Well, yeah. That's a dumb moment, I know. Except, how do you stop thinking about how it sucks? Then we have Mary saying, know thyself and remember the work is not solely about the money. Okay. You can make your mind believe anything. So if you tell yourself this will only be temporary, it can help you deal with a job you're not particularly liking. Again, it's an attitude, isn't it? Tell yourself instead that, you know what, this is temporary, just for today. Catherine's saying, what you think is your reality. Yes, we know that to be true based on everything we've discussed this past year, isn't it? She also says, so start finding something, anything that is good or positive about the current moment. And then find something you do like about the job from Cindy. All right, these are excellent comments. Now let's see how we can do that. Let's see an example that's given here. Of course, you're invited into the live stream to give your own. Jerry has positive mental attitude. He loves his work and he finds satisfaction in his job. So what does he do? Well, first off, Jerry is a descendant of the Hawaiian kings. The job he loves so much is that of sales manager for the Hawaiian offices of a large international organization. Jerry loves his work because he knows his work well and is very proficient in it. Thus, he's doing what comes naturally. But even so, Jerry has days when things could be a little rosier. In sales work, days like this can be disturbing if one doesn't study, think, and plan to correct difficulties and to maintain a positive mental attitude. So, Jerry reads motivating, inspiring books. Now, he had read just such an inspirational book and learned 3 very important lessons. 1, you can control your mental attitude by the use of self-motivators. 2, if you set a goal, you are more apt to achieve it, and the higher you set your goal, the greater will be your achievement. 3, to succeed in anything, it is necessary to know the rules and understand how to apply them. It is necessary to study, to learn, to think, and to plan. Jerry believed these lessons. He got into action. He tried them out himself. He studied his company sales manuals, practiced what he learned in actual selling. He set his goals high, very high, and he achieved them. And each morning he said to himself, he said this to himself, I feel healthy, I feel happy, I feel terrific. And he did. He did feel happy. He did feel healthy. He did feel terrific. And his sales results were terrific too. We got a lot to talk about right there, don't we? Catherine saying that is where that comes from. Please expand. Mary saying, so I would listen to podcasts throughout the day to learn new things. Thankfully, I could do so at my former job. Action, isn't it? You like how Jerry said, I feel. Our thoughts can control our feelings. So Catherine's saying we used to have, we got to say that before our work started when I was teaching ballroom dancing. I feel pretty, I feel light, I feel fluid, right? It's a mind-body connection. Mind, emotions. This is what this is all about. That's why it's all centered in the mind. You can take away control of the body by virtue of snapping off the connections for the nerves, right? Paraplegics. And the mind is still very active. You can remove the ability to speak, but the mind is still very active. You can remove any one of our senses, and the mind is still very active. The mind is an amazing thing, isn't it? Look at this. And Catherine's saying that when she was teaching ballroom dancing, they would say, I feel happy, I feel healthy, I feel terrific, and then clap twice just for added emphasis. That's where it comes from. Putting it into action. Now, this is the other thing that I like about what Jerry, the little short story we just heard about Jerry, and a short version of his story, because there's more in here. Now, Jerry took that to his sales team. He trained the men in the latest and best methods as set forth by his company's training manuals. He took each one out personally and demonstrated how easy it is to sell if one uses the right methods, has a plan, and approaches each day with a positive mental attitude. He taught them to set high sales goals and to achieve them with positive mental attitude. Every morning, Jerry's group meets and recites enthusiastically in unison, I feel healthy, I feel happy, I feel terrific. Then they laugh together, slap one another on the back for good luck, and each one goes his way to sell his quota for the day. That's where it comes from, Catherine. And there's Mary saying, I never considered how the paraplegic can think after they're no longer able to move. You know who I think of is Stephen Hawking. And then, of course, just simply because he's so well known as the physicist that has published so many papers, and of course his personal story. And there's many, many, many other paraplegics, many that have their mind. Oh, the things you can do, the places you can go. It's your imagination. It's amazing. And it's amazing what you can do with your mind. It's what we said earlier. It's what Catherine said earlier. You are what you think. And there's the ticket, and there's the key, and there's the lament, if you will, Mary. We don't give our mind enough credit. So many of us can get stuck in thinking like everybody else. And actually, it is an easy way out of taking responsibility, of being accountable, of taking control of yourself and your life. And I only say easy way out in terms of if I'm, peer pressure, right? If I'm surrounded by a group of people and I hear them enough, I'm going to start thinking like them. And it's simply easier to do that. Well, it's just as easy to surround yourself with people thinking the way that you want to think. So if you want to change your thinking and you want to be different than what you are now, put yourself in with a group of people who are doing what you want to do, thinking like you want to think, acting like you want to act. It's one of the first things I did when I decided that I wanted to be a business owner. I didn't completely leave all of the other people that I knew, but trust me, I wasn't surrounded by business owners. I needed to be around business owners. Otherwise, I wouldn't be in business. I can tell you that without a doubt. I wouldn't be in business today. Without a doubt. And it's because employees think differently than a business owner. And I lost a few friends, actually. I lost a few friends. One in particular got into a rant about her pay. And here I am, a business owner, and I'm trying to explain to her why she's actually being unreasonable for the amount of money that she wants, because she wants it, not because she has the skills and deserves it. She's ranting because she keeps getting turned down for raises because she wants more money. And eventually, I know my attitude came through, which was, as a business owner, I could care less what you want. I have to look at the bottom line and the amount of money that I have available and allocate those monies in a way that helps the business to grow. And if you are not helping the business to grow, why should you get more money? It is not my job to give you money because you think you should have more. It is based on skill level and what you bring to the job that affects the bottom line of the business. Yeah, we're not. I can't call us friends anymore. That was many years ago. No, it's the reality. So, yes, what we think is what we bring about. What we think has a big, big impact on what we feel. So the combination, let's call it a combo pack of my mind and my spirit affect my attitude and my behavior. Yeah, if we surround ourselves with the people we want to be like, we will follow suit. Yeah. Why not raise the, why not this? Set your goal high. And then start being around others who have set their goals high. And it's not that they are going to give you step-by-step guidance or hand-holding or, deep, intimate friendships, but just by being around other people who are excited about what they're achieving, excited about moving forward, enthusiastic about the work they do to achieve their goal, has a tremendous impact on any fears that you have of moving forward with yours. Especially when you have a conversation with one and you think to yourself, holy crap, and I thought mine was a big deal. I thought I was going after a huge goal. Look at what they're doing. There's the value of being around people that can help you. Good morning, Christian. Good to see you. Hi, Ron. Andrea, nice to have you with us. Donna, so good to see you again. Mary, watching others do what they love gave me permission to do what I love. Oh, that's pretty much what I'm saying, isn't it? Especially if you've set a goal that scares the bejeebies out of you. I mean, really. And you said it out loud and you're immediately frightened by the scope of the goal, of what it requires of you. That's really where the fear comes in, doesn't it? What it requires of you. It's really nice to be around other people that are doing bigger things. It doesn't reduce the importance of my goal at all. It just reduces my anxiety because I can be inspired and say, yeah, okay. Isn't that similar with your friend who wanted the money? If you want a certain amount of money, you can find ways to make it. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Again, it's the attitude. Work with people who inspire you. Love that, Donna. Love that. So how do we find satisfaction with our work? Some of the comments here are exactly how we do. We find somebody who you're working with. If you're in a job, find somebody on the job that really enjoys what they're doing. Find a couple of people that they're finding satisfaction. Start hanging around them. Ask them what it is they love about what they do. All right, so I'm going to go back to Jerry as the sales manager. And we're saying that the men under him are happy and satisfied in their jobs. And here's why. Here is why. They've studied their work well. They know and understand the rules and techniques and how to apply them so well that what they are doing comes naturally to them. I want to address that because what first comes to my mind is that I tend to go for the challenge. And yet, by setting myself up, by going after a challenge every single time, starting something new every single time based on the excitement and adrenaline of starting something new, right? Actually set myself up for failure. Set myself up to be dissatisfied because I didn't go in knowing the rules, knowing the techniques, having the training, understanding all that was going to evolve from it. I've been in jobs where I've talked about my management jobs where I was thrown in with no training. It was strictly for the money. I was very good in a lot of other things when it came to corporate world. Put me into management. It wasn't good. It wasn't good. Tried to study on my own. Not good. tell you what I didn't do and what would have made the huge difference in my ability to be satisfied with my work, but also my ability to help others to be satisfied with theirs. Had I joined a group of other managers and gone through training, I don't believe I'd still be there, but I believe that the experience would have been so much better for everybody involved. So we've got some comments. Listen, I'm only on one of 4 reasons why these guys are still satisfied with their work. So let's see what the comments are saying. I felt a coworker, Mary. I felt a coworker who I could speak with when things were not rosy. We'd go to lunch. Oh, you found a coworker. Got it. Go to lunch and encourage one another. Many years ago, I did that. Donna's inspired by people who think outside the box. Okay, Christian, this is a seriously deep question. Just asking someone when they talk about something involving them, what is it you love about that? Yeah, talk about getting a cool conversation going. I've often said, wow, how interesting is that? I got to tell you, you are so excited about what you do at work. Why are you so excited? Eyes light up. Energy comes up. It's pretty awesome. Oh, there's no question, Christopher. Welcome, Christopher. Good to see you. There's no question. Right now, it's just random conversation based on points that I'm making out of the book. So the first point was that here we have a sales team that's pumped, that feels good. Everybody loves what they do, and it's because they studied their work. They know and understand the rules and techniques and how to apply them so well that what they are doing comes naturally to them. The second reason is they set their goals regularly, and they believe they will make them. They know what the mind can conceive and believe the mind can achieve. Setting goals regularly. The third reason is they keep a positive mental attitude continually through the use of self-motivator. Self-motivator. I feel healthy. I feel happy. I feel terrific. And then fourth, they enjoy the satisfaction that comes from a job well done. That's where I get my satisfaction, is with a job well done. The completion of a project for a client. Being able to respond well to those that I'm working with. I've studied what I do. I continue to study what I do and consult on. For instance, in mastermind groups. I've been a natural facilitator my entire life. All of that came naturally to me. When I started mastermind groups in 2009, I didn't have formal facilitator training. And then I got some. And I will continue to get some to keep my skills honed, but keep me focused. The interesting thing is that when I went through facilitator training, the instructor during the training and since then has come to me and was surprised when she learned I'd never had training. She said, because I was wondering why you were here. You know this, you do this. And I told her, I said, I know that. And it was great. It was great confirmation, right? Confirmation of what I already know is enough to boost confidence. Confirmation from a professional who's instructs this, who has been doing this for 25 years, raises that level of confidence and secures me in my own knowledge and abilities. And since then, she's come to me for guidance and not collaboration, but hey, checkpoint. Yeah, have you had this come up in your groups? And I just had this and thought I'd share. So now we're colleagues, and it's terrific. And I will continue to I'm thinking maybe annually to go through some type of facilitator training to keep my skills honed and to I always learn something, and I did. I of course learned something. I don't know it all. But it comes down to, why was I getting such great satisfaction out of that portion of the work that I do? It's because I do it well. I know the rules. I know the techniques very well. We start our meetings. I prep myself before the group with self-motivators, and we begin each group meeting. Everybody calms down, and we're going to get focused, and we're going to grow today. We're going to learn something today. All right? So I get how to get satisfaction, especially when it's laid out like this. Especially when it's laid out like this. Mental attitude makes all the difference in the world. It's all in how you look at it, isn't it? Good morning, Peter and Laura. Welcome back, Ron. Glad you're with us. Do you guys have self-motivators? Do you have definite goals that you set each day? I love this one. I feel healthy. I feel happy. I feel terrific. You have kids. Does that count as self-motivators? Not really. Comes close. Outside motivation. Do you have a favorite phrase? What's your favorite phrase as a self-motivator to get things moving? Oh, yeah, right. Catherine's trying to say that they came from self. She bore them, and therefore they make her fix their food daily. Catherine's being funny. So Mary's saying, mine is, I am empowered. The power resides in me. The desires of my heart are mine. So then we have how a definite goal can make us enthusiastic. Not long ago, in one of the classes taught by Napoleon Hill and W. Clement Stone, they were talking about this principle of bringing enthusiasm into one's job. And about this principle of enthusiasm, in response, this young lady in the rear of the classroom raises her hand and got to her feet and says, I've come here with my husband. What you say may be all right for a man in business, but it's no good for a housewife. You men have new and interesting challenges every day, but it's not like that with housework. The trouble with housework is it's just too darned daily. Now, this seemed like a real challenge to Napoleon Hill and W. Clement Stone. There are a lot of people who have jobs that are just too darn daily. Remember, I was saying that if you have that attitude of this job just sucks, right? If we could find a way to help this young lady, perhaps we could help others who thought their work was routine. We asked her what made her work seem so daily, and it turned out she had no sooner finished making the beds when they were dirtied again, washing the dishes when they were soiled again, cleaning the floors when they were muddied again. You just get these things done so they can get undone. The instructors agreed. It seems frustrating. Are there any women who do enjoy housework? Well, I guess there are, she said. What do they find in housework to interest them and keep them enthusiastic? After a moment's thought, the young woman replied, maybe it's their attitude. They don't seem to think their work is confining. They seem to see something beyond the routine. This was the crux of the problem. One of the secrets of job satisfaction is being able to see beyond the routine. It's knowing that your work is leading somewhere. Now, this is true whether you are a housewife or a file clerk, a gas pump operator, or the president of a large corporation. You'll find satisfaction in routine chores only when you see them as stepping stones. Each chore is a stone leading in a direction that you choose. How's that? Currently, we're on page 237 in the PDF for those who want to join us in the reading portion. So let's talk about the stepstone theory. The answer then for this young housewife, and for any of us who are looking at this routine work and turning up our nose and thinking negatively about it, the answer is to find some goal that we really want to achieve. Find a way to make the daily routine lead to the attainment of that goal. In the case of the housewife and the housework, she volunteered the information that she had always wanted to take her family on a trip around the world. All right, says the instructor, we'll settle on that. Now, set yourself a time limit. When do you want to go? When the baby is 12 years old, she said. That will be 6 years from now. Now, let's see. This will take a little doing. You still need money, for one thing. Your husband will have to be able to take off for a year. You will have to plan an itinerary. You will want to study up on the countries you're going to be visiting. Do you suppose you can find a way to let bed making, dishwashing, floor scrubbing, and meal planning be stepping stones towards your goal? So a few months later, this lady returns to class. It was apparent the minute she walked into the room, there was a woman who had succeeded proudly. It's amazing, she said, how well the stepping stone idea has worked. I haven't found a single chore that doesn't fit in. I use my cleaning time as thinking and planning time. Shopping time is a wonderful time to expand our horizons. I deliberately buy foods from other countries, foods that we will be eating on our trip. I use the meal time as teaching time. If we're having Chinese egg noodles, I read all I can find out about China and its people, and then at dinner I tell the family all about them. Not one of my duties is dull or uninteresting to me anymore, and I know they never will be again, thanks to the stepstone theory. All right, there's my challenge for you today. That's it exactly, Mary. It's reframing. It's a stepstone theory. It's reframing, but it's reframing with purpose and understanding the why you're doing the routine things. But it's also adding something, doing something a bit more with the routine things that you're doing, right? So Cindy's saying, when I do mundane things that don't require much thought, I think about other things. Then back to our self-motivators, and Christian saying, however, like me, some empowering phrases that work are, let's effing do this. Woohoo, yeah. Okay. And then Andrea is sharing, I'm living a life of great abundance and tremendous love, surrounded by people who are strong enough to ask me why and faithful enough to say why not. I hate inside work and always loved outside work. I am not a domestic anything. Oh, all right. So I enjoy cooking. I kind of like cooking. Just whistle while you work. Yeah. All right. So what are ways, if you've got work that you do on a daily basis that is routine, that is boring, that is non-fulfilling, that is make your eyes cross kind of work, drudgery. What can you do during that work time to make the work that you do more satisfying? What can you do to make that work a part of the stepping stone to the greater goal. I mean, for instance, is very few business owners like bookkeeping. Don't mind, most of us don't mind the P&L sheets. Most of us don't mind the end numbers that say, look at this, we're making a profit, expenses are good, woohoo. Most of us don't care for the details of recording everything and organizing everything for the accountant. Okay, so if you take that and think in terms of doing this means that I now have control over my money. I now understand that every time I organize this, it's better prepared for the accountant so that, number one, I save money and hence I will make more money. It preps the business to have a solid foundation from which to be profitable. Relieves my mind of any stress related to budgeting concerns, meaning, do I have enough for marketing? Do I have enough for operations? Do I have enough for, now, operations includes outsourcing, includes employees, all of that. It reduces stress greatly, which allows me to focus my attention on that which I enjoy doing. Reframe it. Make it obvious that it is a part of you reaching that goal. Then we have Cindy, who hates filing. She always hated it at a job or own work, even though it's a necessity. Sometimes I do it first to get it out of the way so I can do something more fun. If I put it off until the end, then I'll be dwelling on that project. It still needs to be done rather than what I've already done by doing it first. Exactly. Exactly. Okay, what if you're pretty good at getting yourself motivated in the beginning, but not so great at maintaining the discipline and keeping yourself motivated after you get past the initial excitement and enthusiasm of the honeymoon phase? How do you do that? I know how I do it. You may want to join me in the live stream and start talking about how do you maintain that. And like I said, I know how I did it, and I didn't do it, and I know what the book's telling us to do. Using I will, I want. Okay. What are you doing every single day? Right? What are you doing in the morning to prep yourself for the day to do the work that's going to reach your end goal? Or maybe, let's go back a step. A lot of times as the excitement of a new project is, there really isn't an end goal. It's the excitement of doing something different. So let's go back a step. What is the goal? What is it that I want to achieve? What is it that I want to achieve today that's going to get me closer to the end goal? So the most recent project that I am working on is the business retreat. I have the end goal, right, which is in spring of 2017. Oh, I know what I want it to look like. I know what I want it to feel like. And I know the steps that are needed in order to make it happen. Yesterday, I interviewed a coach, a wellness coach, certified and trained in pretty much every aspect of mental and spiritual wellness, who is fully on board, who got all excited when I gave her the name, who said, I think that I would love to work with you on the entire agenda because weaving, let's prep them for personal transformation and weave it through the entire weekend so that they can see why the prep was important. The new thing that they learned when they first step into the retreat, the new thing they learned about whatever she's going to end up leading them on. For instance, finding your life purpose. Okay. Set them up so that as we're going through the business things of strategy or marketing and sales or whatever, they can see that how it all ties together, and that will ensure the powerful experience at the end of the weekend. She's as excited as I am. Great. I've got phone calls out to venues. What can I do this morning that's going to keep me moving towards that goal? You know, what is it that you do every single day? What's your self-motivator? Good morning, Cindy.
Good morning.
So,
I figure this way I stay awake.
Okay.
This is one of the things, obviously. You know, being on the web, being in the audience, jumping on Facebook, for me, actually is motivating because I've got good friends, strong people that I make sure are on my top list for things I want to see in the day because I know they're going to have good stuff there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and ignore the ones that I know are just going to be whining about the day or whatever. You know, so that's basically my routine, you know, and I think it's, again, surrounding yourself with those people, whatever that means, when stuff gets too tough or feels like there's not ever going to be enough time to get it accomplished, find somebody and say, hey, give me an idea here because I'm at a loss.
Okay. We have, let's see here. We have Christopher saying success cannot be measured by just buying and selling. Mm-hmm. Even bad businesses are doing this on a daily basis. What you are, who you are, and what you can deliver is what sets you apart. True winners know this and like the people they have become. Then we have Christian saying water with lemon, stretch, small breakfast, an hour after getting up, light workout, run, shower, coffee, and after that my brain functions 500 times better and I feel clear-headed and can very clearly focus on exactly what needs to be done. That's his morning routine. So the original question was, how do we get through past the honeymoon phase of a new project? Again, you have a daily morning routine. I mean, mine is I come into the office and I have my major definite purpose, which is the ultimate goal that I've got for the business right now. And that is part of the ultimate goal of being in the RV. But I've got the revenue goal that I want for the business. I've got, you who know me, I have my list of what needs to be done today, goals that need to be accomplished. Some are revenue generating goals, some are and tasks, and some are marketing and networking tasks. I look at that. I read a little bit from something. I listen to an audio that gets me focused on the bigger picture because I am the business owner. And then I finish my morning routine with you guys here, Morning Mindset Cafe, because I learn from you and your experiences of how you apply these principles. So that motivates me and inspires me to continue moving today toward accomplishing what I need to accomplish. I'm given an opportunity to share how I do things so that others learn, which again reinforces what I know to be true for myself. And I also learn something a little bit about myself sometimes because the opportunity's now been presented to talk about something I don't normally talk about or haven't clarified to such a point as needed in a discussion like this when somebody's asking, how exactly do you do this? And like Cindy, I connect throughout the day. I have my tasks. I have the good feeling of accomplishing things throughout the day. And then I have in those moments when I am kind of muddy and muzzy and when all things are not right and I need to touch base with a group, that again, be around those successful people. And that's about the time that I meet with my mastermind group. So, I see things. I belong to some very wonderful professional groups on Facebook and BB that, wow, elevate your thinking. Elevate your thinking. Be inspired to do just a little bit more good stuff. So those are my thoughts. Let's see.
One of the other things, that honeymoon stage, that they're talking about, if we start out writing down how that feels, at the same time we've got that end goal,
okay,
there's something to come back to and remind us, oh yeah, this is how it should feel, and find ways to come back to that again.
Well, there's an idea. So even if it's not, let's say you're not able to write down exactly how that feels, but you have a picture that expresses the emotion that you have regarding it. There's a reason I have the luxury Class C RV as my screensaver. Trust me. And then I have another one that comes up and it's looking out a screened window, which is exactly like looking out an RV window, right? It's like, yes. Yes. That's why. Bring it on, people. That's why,
There'll be much less housework in that RV.
And then you do have that. Yeah, you do have that. Much less. Much less. Vision boards. Excellent idea. Excellent idea. I tried now. I am going to say for me, I put together a vision board based on the guidance of someone who was walking us through, how it all is supposed to work and what it represents. As I was putting it together, it was fabulous. For me, I can't look at an entire vision board. It is too messy. It is too disparate. It is too sloppy. It is too much happening for me to see. But if I take one at a time, I'm good. I tried organizing them so that images were all equal size and lined up the way I really like them. And it still was too much because it just was. So what works for me and why I have my screensaver set up the way I do is one at a time. But they represent that, yes, that excitement, that this is what I'm working towards. As Cindy was saying, write down as you are writing down your goal. We learned earlier, write down your goal and clarify it so that you attach emotion to it. Because when you attach emotion to it, you're able to do things every single day that involve that emotion. That's why I said, when you start a new project, take the time to work through what is the end goal. What is the end goal and what's the emotion attached to it? Because if you have a honeymoon phase where it's all exciting, there's a reason why you're excited about doing it. And if it's only because it's something new and you're challenged by something new, If that's the only reason, it's not going to be sustainable. It has to be attached to the end goal, to what's being accomplished. That's been my experience thus far. That's what the books and other successful people's experiences have been. What do you think of that, Cindy? Miss Cindy, who's had 1 hour of sleep and is willing to come on with me with 1 hour of sleep.
I think that's cool. My vision board has got 4 quadrants also.
Okay.
So that I can focus on, like family health, family and life, friends, that kind of thing, spirituality piece, and the career piece. And I forget what the 4th one is right now. But yeah, so it can only focus. It's weird. As much as my ADD brain can do multitasking and do 3 things at once, stuff like goals can only be one piece at a time for me. So.
Yeah, I don't have ADD brain. I don't. I can attempt to do multiple things at once, but nothing really gets done. And if it does get finished, it's not very satisfying because not a whole lot of attention was brought to it for me. So for me, it's hence I always say what you focus on is what will grow. And what we talk about here is what you think about is what will happen, right? So a definite goal, right? Pardon me?
I've proven to people that I can carry on 2 conversations at once while doing something else.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I have 1 or 2 people in my life that are like that, and that's great. That's, there's neither good nor bad. That's who you are. That's not me. So what works for me, and that's the beauty of having a gathering like this, isn't it? Is that what works for me doesn't always work for other people, and vice versa. Now, see, and Mary's saying she may add music to amp it up even more. I cannot work with music in the background. I have lost my ability to get to such a level of focus that I can block out the entire world. I can't say I've lost the ability. I know I still can. The difference is that since I started my business, so much needs my attention regularly that in order for me to get the laser focus and block out the entire world takes a lot of effort. And sometimes I just don't have time to put that level of effort into it. So I minimize the distractions for me.
Mary also said that she uses a video. Took a picture and turned it into a video. It's interesting.
I've not tried that yet. That was offered to me. Put your vision board on. Somebody said, "Well, Charlene, put your vision board on a PowerPoint." Right. Well, now I could use Animoto. This is back years ago, before Animoto, and have the images come through with some music and cement it that way. I haven't needed to. Trust me. I look at that RV. It's like, oh yeah. There's a picture of a man and a woman, which is me and my husband fishing on a lake. Yep. Surrounded by the colors of fall. Oh yeah. Yep. There's the view looking out the window at the picnic table at the lakeside. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can see that on my Facebook cover image. I mean, these are places that I've been. These are, I know and I know it can happen today if I really wanted it to. I'm just choosing not to have it happen today for specific reasons. There are some other things that I want to do and accomplish and what have you. So that's how I view it. Donna's saying they're doing studies on how music affects brain activity. It's pretty remarkable. Oh, music's incredible. I'm a trained classical pianist, and for the longest time, I played virtually any instrument just for grins and giggles, and sometimes in groups and what have you. Music is powerful. It's powerful. But also in my world, music requires my full attention. That is one place I can still go to and completely block out the entire world. Completely block out So, oh, yeah, music's powerful. That's all I can say. It is incredible. So, any other thoughts before I close down the recording portion? Yeah, Christian, I don't talk about being a pianist. It just rarely does it need to come up. You know, it's like I shoot pool too, and I'm really good at that. And there's other things I'm really good at that I love to do, right? So I'm a writer. I make money at writing. Pool I've made a little bit of money at. Could make a whole lot more. But again, it's all in how I look at it and what I'm using it for. So music, I don't make money at. So any final thoughts? Yes, Mary, every day, every weekday morning at 8 a.m. Eastern Time. And then, all right, Christian, if you shot the cue right off the table, you went a little low. And I can tell you right now, you raised the back of the stick too high. You need to keep it parallel with the floor for good form. Yeah, I'd love to have you come back, Mary. Love to have you here. All right, so let's close this down for the recording purposes. Thank you, Cindy, for joining me in the live stream and your contributions in the chat. And those of you in the chat, thank you so much. You've really, really offered a lot for thought. And my hope is that you've sparked some new thoughts in some people of how you can put together a routine every single morning. It's going to help you to reach your ultimate goal and to find satisfaction in the work that you do. So this is Charlene Burke with Grow Because You Know. That's www.growbecauseyouKnow.com. Let's move forward with the day on purpose, with purpose, to grow our hearts, grow our minds, and grow our businesses. Until next time, have a great day.